You stood at the edge of the world, watching as two giants clashed in a dance of power and ego. The frozen landscape of Alaska, a backdrop for a meeting that would change the course of history. But as you gazed out at the spectacle, a shiver ran down your spine. It wasn't the grandeur of the occasion that unsettled you, but the faint whisper of a truth you'd rather not confront. A truth that Carl Jung might have seen coming, a truth that speaks to the darkest corners of our own psyche. You felt a pang of discomfort, a sense of disconnection from the world around you, the noise of the media, the chaos of the crowd. It all began to fade into the background as a single question echoed through your mind. What does it say about us, that we're drawn to the flames of ego and power, even as they consume us? The chase for success, the endless quest for validation, the spiritual bypassing, the hustle culture had all seemed to make sense once, but now it's just a hollow echo. You feel numb, disconnected, like you're wandering through a familiar landscape that's lost its meaning. This dissonance, it's not just a feeling, it's a sign that your old system is dying, that the identity you've been holding onto is slowly unraveling. You're not malfunctioning. You're being emptied, prepared for reconstruction. The persona you've been pretending to be, the mask you've been wearing, it's cracking and the real you is starting to emerge. It's a slow and painful process, like the shedding of skin, but it's necessary. The old you, the one that was addicted to becoming, doesn't live here anymore. And what you're feeling now, this liminal space, it's the threshold to something new, something real. Carl Jung understood this collapse, this moment when the unconscious begins to rise, when the illusions we've been living under start to unravel. It's not a burst of joy, but a slow and gentle awakening to the truth. The numbness you're feeling, it's not the absence of life, it's the echo of an old identity losing its grip. You're being called to let go, to surrender, to allow the real you to emerge. It's a scary and uncertain place, but it's also the doorway to transformation, to rebirth. And what lies ahead, it's not something you can see, but something you can feel, a sense of possibility, of promise, of becoming something real. The collapse of the system that once defined us is not an end, but a beginning, a surrender to the unknown, a relinquishing of the need for control. As we stand at the threshold of this new territory, the words of Carl Jung echo through the silence, a reminder that the journey of individuation is not one of perfection, but of integration. The parts of ourselves we once sought to bury, the fear, the doubt, the rage, and the need, now rise to the surface, demanding acknowledgement. It is in this darkness that the light of awareness begins to flicker, illuminating the path forward. The voice of the ego, once a cacophony of demands and expectations, fades into the whispers of the self, a gentle, insistent call to presence, to being, to the emergence of the true and authentic. In this hibernation, this cocoon of transformation, we are not lost, but found in the depths of our own psyche, where the ancient blueprint of our deeper self awaits. The persona may collapse, but from its ashes, the phoenix of our true nature rises, born of surrender, nourished by the silence, and guided by the light of our own inner wisdom. We are not in crisis, but in initiation, a rite of passage into the unknown, where the only constant is the depths of our own becoming. Carl Jung would say that the shadow is the repressed self, the traits, traumas, or truths we've pushed into the darkness, hiding from the world and ourselves. This is the invisible weight that's been holding you back, a constant reminder that a part of you remains unexplored, unseen. You've been numb, disconnected from your desires, and unable to care like you used to. This isn't the absence of emotion, but too much emotion, locked behind a wall, waiting to be unleashed. The fire that once burned within you, the passion, the drive, it's still there, but you've forgotten where you placed it. You buried it to survive, to cope with the pressures of the world, but now it's time to remember. This numbness, it's not just a feeling, It's a memory trying to return through the cracks of your carefully managed life. It's the echo of a part of you that's been silenced, suppressed, and hidden. The shadow is not something to be feared, but something to be acknowledged, understood, and integrated. It's the key to unlocking your true potential, to embracing your authenticity, and to finding the courage to be yourself. As you stand at the threshold of this new awareness, remember that the shadow is not just a part of you, but a part of your story. It's the unseen force that has been shaping your choices, your desires, and your fears. And now, it's time to confront it, to explore it, and to understand its power. The journey ahead will be challenging, but it's a journey of discovery, of growth, and of transformation. Are you ready to face your shadow, to listen to its whispers, and to uncover the secrets it holds? The ego remembers the old rules of survival, success, identity, performance, but the self is whispering new truths, unclear but undeniable. These two parts are now in conflict, neither fully in control. You want to move forward, but something holds you back. Your body is here, but your soul is somewhere else. You long for silence, yet feel anxious in stillness. This is the tension that Carl Jung described as the crisis before integration, where the persona and the self are at odds. It's a struggle that echoes the Apollonian versus Dionysian conflict, where the rational and emotional selves clash. The exhaustion, self-doubt, shame, and grief that arise from this split are real. You feel like you're being pulled into directions, unsure which part is really you. But this is not dysfunction, it's the breaking of an inner shell. You are not failing, you are mid-transformation. The emotional turbulence you're experiencing is a sign that you're on the verge of a profound shift. As you navigate this inner conflict, remember that it's a necessary and sacred part of your journey. The tension between your ego and self is not something to be feared, but rather acknowledged and compassionately understood. It's the doorway to alignment and the beginning of a new chapter in your life.